Hi, I'm so glad that you could join me in sharing this video about my daughter's second birthday cake. It's the Dolly Varden or Barbie cake that's been inspired by a Marie Antoinette theme. It took around 3.5 hours to complete all of the decoration work, and obviously to bake the cake was the day before. So if you are looking at doing this type of cake, you definitely need to have enough time so that you can bake all your cakes the day before and do all the cream layers and then do all of your other decoration the following day. Unless you've got plenty of hours, and I've got kids at home, so it makes it a little bit difficult. And as a lot of you with kids and decorating cakes or other things that you do that are creative, you end up doing it overnight time till 10, 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock at night, or waking up first thing in the morning like I did to finish off the rest of the decorations. And the recipe for the Southern Red Velvet cake came from Sweets by Shonda. And I'll post a link for that at the bottom of the post. And overall though, the design for this took a couple of weeks. Originally I sort of put it out there on Facebook that I'm planning my daughter's birthday cake. I was thinking of a Dorothy the Dinosaur theme because at the time she sort of liked it. And then she sort of got off Dorothy and liked fairies and Barbies, and I put out a post and had quite a lot of different responses, and the one that I went with was one by Victoria Hanson, who's a brilliant cook and TV personality, and there's a link to her website at the bottom too because she's got a fantastic food site. And I used her inspiration of doing a Dolly Varden cake, and then a week or so later a photographer called Penny Pellicano did a post about this beautiful cake, and it had white fondant icing and red roses and stripy red ribbons around it, and it was absolutely gorgeous. And she didn't know whether it was hand painted, but it sort of gave me the idea to start piecing bits and pieces together. So after piecing all those bits and pieces together, I came up with the Marie Antoinette theme and hand painting the roses onto it and doing all the rest of it. In the video below, you'll actually see the explanation that I sort of give about how I came about putting the cake together, and I hope you find it interesting. Let me know what you think. Thanks a lot for joining me, and I hope you enjoy the rest of this post. See ya. The inspiration was a Marie Antoinette cake, and I've unfortunately had to cut Barbie's legs off because she didn't fit into the cake. I didn't use a Dolly Varden tin. I actually baked a Southern Velvet cake and just a normal vanilla butter cake, and they were sandwiched together with a cream cheese filling. Once that had been assembled, I've actually popped a front petticoat here with some marzipan, and you can see, as I'll just zoom in, some of the red detail work that I've popped on there for the stripes has bled into the marzipan. So if anyone has any tips about how to stop that from happening, I'd love to know. This is the first time I've actually worked with fondant and marzipan. I've had no experience in working with it before, so this is my first go. It's not my first go at doing piping work because I've done lots of gingerbread houses, but I thought I'd have a go at doing this anyway. For the design work that's up close, there's these little scalloped details on the petticoats, on the outer petticoats, and I've used this tool to just press into the fondant that was hand coloured before I assembled it onto the cake. Once it was put onto the cake, then I popped a little bit of icing, royal icing, and I've used these assorted pearls that I get from my favourite shop, Sweet Time in Coringal, and they were just a lovely assortment of pearls. They look like little pearls, and I saw them quite a while back and I thought, oh, I might use them, and so I have. I always end up picking up lots of little bits and pieces. So I've done the front petticoat anyway, and I actually styled Barbie's hair as well to look like a Marie Antoinette hairstyle, and I'm just going to turn her around on the side. That's one of my daughter's hair clips that she refuses to wear. At least I've had it put to good use. I've popped a little bow from another hair tie that my daughter refuses to wear for the back, and that was actually to cover the little dip. I don't know whether you can see it, but there was a bit of a dip in the back there because there was a big gap between Barbie and the centre of the cake. Now on the outside, I've actually hand painted all of these roses onto a white layer of fondant. So if we go back to the front, I put on a piece of marzipan first to give a bit of a contrast of colour, painted the line work on it and let that dry, and then I layered all the way underneath the whole cake a white layer of fondant to cover all the cake, and they've all been hand painted. Now I'm going to try and zoom in slowly so that you can see it. They've all been hand painted with Wilton's gel paints, and I just thin them down and use some sable brushes just like I would in sort of any other decorative painting that I do. I had to wait sort of 2 stages to finish the flowers, and some of them ran. I didn't realise how long it would take for some of the colours to dry. It's the first time I've worked in painting on cakes in this medium, so I'm pretty happy with the job. However, I probably should have measured out my design first instead of just freehanding it, because it's not perfect. But nonetheless, I'm still happy with my efforts. And that's just to finish off the rest of the cake. Barbie's dress onto her body. The front part of the bodice is a piece of fondant icing, and the rest has just been piped on to finish it off. It was much easier than trying to get fondant to stick all the way around because it kept falling off her skin. And that's it. I hope that you've enjoyed having a look at my Dolly Varden cake or Barbie cake. And if you've got any questions or any comments, I'd really love to hear what you've got to say about my cake, or any suggestions you think on how I can improve it, especially the bleeding gel paint into the marzipan. Please pop a comment at the bottom of the post or on our fan page on Facebook, and I'd love to hear from you. Thank you very much, and I hope you enjoyed. Bye.